What's up, YouTube? It's your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another video. And the news just came out this morning that Anthony Davis from the New Orleans Pelicans is requesting the trade. He's saying that he will not re-sign with the Pelicans no matter what this offseason. So it's obviously that it's time for the Pelicans to deal him. Now there are a few spots that the masses would love him to go to. I'm sure any team in the NBA would love to have him, but the conversation has been happening for a while now. Anthony Davis to LA, Anthony Davis to the Celtics. Those are two teams with a lot of young players who up and coming guys who are going to be good for a long time in the NBA, and those are two teams who would like to win now with two cornerstones, LeBron James in LA, Kyrie Irving in Boston. Now, while I would like to see Anthony Davis go ahead and team up with LeBron and go ahead and take on the Warriors head-to-head. And I hope that that's the most likely scenario or outcome of this. But one of the other teams is the Celtics. And the Celtics right now are at a bit of a disadvantage because they cannot trade for Anthony Davis at this moment. Alright, and like I said, everybody has been talking about this morning. That's just the conversation. The Lakers, who's going to pick up Anthony Davis? But like I said, the Celtics cannot trade for him at this moment, and it's because of this rule. It's called the Derrick Rose rule. Now, this is a rule that came about in 2011 during the collective bargaining agreement within the NBA. I don't know if you remember, but that was the time we got some great basketball, some mixtapes, when you had the LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and everybody else going off in local gyms around the country. And it's always interesting to me with professional athletes who were locking out from the NBA because they didn't want to pay for the millions of dollars that they were being paid. So they decided to then go play for free in these different leagues around the country. So in order for them to get more millions of dollars, they went to go play for free for a little bit. So for you all, man, I will say that's a lesson in learning your own value. Sometimes you might have to take a step back to take a step forward. But because of this rule here was created, the Derrick Rose rule. And I will tell you, when you start looking at some of the contract rules and the collective bargaining stuff, it's definitely a different language that they're using. And a lot of it doesn't make sense, you know what I'm saying? But I'll try my best to explain it to you right here. So basically what this is saying is, if you're a player who is on your rookie contract and you outperform it, you're all NBA, MVP of the league, all-star games and all of that stuff, then you deserve to a higher tier of money once you come out of your rookie contract. At that time, when the collective bargaining lockout was happening, the only player who was eligible for this new implementation or this new rule was Derrick Rose, because he won the MVP in his third season on his rookie contract. So obviously it would be crazy for him to then follow the same pay scale as other players. So instead of what used to be the standard of 25% of a raise, basically a max contract that you can have on your next couple of years, 5 years and 25% of the team's cap, what they did is they created this Derrick Rose rule so you could get 30%. All right. So Derrick Rose, because he was an MVP in his third season in the NBA, he was able to get this rule. But now where it's kind of crazy is here. If you look here, there are a few other players who at this point have signed that under that type of contract. Derrick Rose being the one, Blake Griffin, Paul George, Karl Anthony Towns. It's interesting to me too that most of these other guys who've been able to meet this criteria have been traded except for Karl Anthony Towns. But here also you have folks who were obviously playing basketball above their peers, but not to the level to get that extra 30%. So they're under the 5 and 25% contracts. That's where you have Kyrie Irving here, and then also Anthony Davis. So now what makes it interesting is that another caveat that the league put in place is that a team cannot trade to acquire guys who are under these type of contracts. So the Boston Celtics traded to get Kyrie Irving, and they would have to make a trade in order to get Anthony Davis at this moment. They can't do that right now, so it puts the Boston Celtics behind the 8 ball because they have some talented guys on their squad right now. They've got some dudes here, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Robert Williams III, Terry Rozier, guys who carried the team all the way to the finals last year, who are great assets, also some first-round picks that they would love to use to trade for Anthony Davis right now, and then have a super team basically with Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and I just forgot his name. My guy from Butler, who's coming back off of an injury and missing last season. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, leave his name in the comments and go ahead and remind me that over and over. All right, but so they would love to have that super team set up with those 3 guys, but they can't do it at the moment. So this right here is not going to happen for a while, but there's a couple options that the Boston Celtics can potentially use in order to acquire Anthony Davis in some short time. What they could do is just trade Kyrie Irving. So at this moment, you say, look, there's some stuff going on in the locker room right now with Kyrie. We see him and LeBron starting to communicate. Maybe Kyrie to the Lakers. Maybe get a 3-way trade or something going. Get rid of Kyrie, bring in Anthony Davis, Gordon Hayward. There it is. I remember his name. So now you got Anthony Davis, Gordon Hayward, and then and maybe some of these young pieces. If you can keep a Jason Tatum or Terry Rozier, that's a decent team for the Celtics. Now, what does you maybe get a 3-way trade with the Lakers, like I'm saying, and send some players down to the Pelicans. The Pelicans could use a Rondo, maybe a Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, some players of the future as well. I went over here to Real GM. They got this trade checker, and you can put in a couple different, you can attempt to make that trade happen. I'm not well versed enough to do it, so I tried, and I just kept getting them telling me, hey bro, that trade you talking about is crazy, it can't happen, will never happen. So what y'all should do is, man, go over to this Real GM site, throw up some trades, and if you can make any of them work, the best scenario for both teams, go ahead and come back to the video, let them happen in the comment section, and maybe we'll take a look at some of these trades that you all came up with in the next video. But it's your main man, AB the Hero. We out. Peace.